Hey everybody, 87 here and welcome back to the channel with last year's favorite video for, well, most of my followers. Marquee matchup predictions. Not gonna brag, okay, but I did help a lot of people make a lot of coins last year, and even this year, last week, I did like a prediction to some friends and explain why that Spain versus Portugal was gonna come out in marquee matchups and they should invest in Portuguese players. Yes, that happened, and we have Friday's video showing me making a lot of money actually from those investments. Could have been more, but the market wasn't liquidated. What I'm expecting is next week, when the marquee matchups drop, they will be more liquidated because the game, it goes live like Tuesday, and people will start playing and making a lot of money. So I think the market will be liquidated and there will be a possibility of making more money. But that's my opinion, and let's see how it goes. But I think I'm going to be right on that. First team, Porto versus Braga. Why Porto versus Braga? Porto versus Braga is a very intensive northern derby because they're from two big cities in the north of Portugal. There's some history behind. Braga in this moment is in second place with 19 points and Porto is in third place with 16 points. Porto beating Braga means they will get the second place and they will be closer to first place. Porto, to be honest, I'm a Benfica fan, you guys know that. Porto is a club that it's not used to being third place, okay? They are not used to that and they want to go to the highest places as fast as they can. So I think that's going to be a very intensive match. What can you invest in? I would say invest in David Carmo. The way chemistry is this year, if you have a player off position, it won't give you any chem. So let's say if we invest in 100 strikers and the formation doesn't have a striker but has a center forward, those strikers that you invested are automatically less value. Last year you could escape that because let's say you put the striker on the center forward position, the chemistry would go from 10 to 9. In this case it goes from 1 to 0. That's not good. Doesn't mean you can't use it, okay? Because if you have the team with full chem or it's doing the requirements and you put the striker on the center forward formation, even if it doesn't give any chem, you do the requirement of the Porto player, for example. I know chemistry is still new, but that's how it is. So the safest positions this year will be center backs and goalkeepers, because all formations have center backs and goalkeepers. I will try to give you those options, but sometimes I won't because price, okay? I'd rather you invest on a CDM that's not 300, but let's say 400 coins than on a center back that's 1000 coins. You know, that's what's gonna happen. Anyway, David Carmo, like I mentioned, also Liga Portugal and Portuguese, that's a good link. Second investment would be Vitor Tormena, Brazilian names. Sometimes they're hard to say. Yes, Brazilian, very good link. Requirements for this segment. They can either go two ways, okay? One way, if this is the weakest, if this one is the weakest marquee matchup, they will ask only for Liga Portugal players. They won't ask for specific clubs. They might ask, let's say, free Liga NOS player. Yeah, it's Liga NOS. In real life, it's B1, but in the game, it's Liga NOS. They might ask for, let's say, free Liga NOS or free Portuguese player. They can always go like that. If it's not the weakest, because I'll explain that at the end, if it's not the weakest, they might ask one from either club, okay? Second match, Bayern München versus Bayern Leverkusen. This one, they're separated by 10 spots. Bayern is in 5th place and Leverkusen is in 15th place. So they're not even close to be a very competitive match. But I remember last year, EA had this match in two different marquee matchups weeks. So one was at Bayern's home and the other was at Leverkusen's home. I remember that because I invested in them and I was right on both times. Very happy. So I'm expecting this one to be in. But because of this position, I'm thinking they might not bet on this one. So this is like the riskiest one that you can do. If they don't put Bayern versus München versus Leverkusen, they might put uh, Besiktas versus Fenerbahce. Yeah, that could be that. That could be the weakest one because they usually like to invest in the Turkish league. But again, remember, it's a prediction. I'm not 100% sure. I'm hoping that I'm right with my experience. What can you invest in? You can invest in goalkeepers. I don't like to invest in goalkeepers, to be honest. But again, like I explained a little bit before, with this new chemistry, it might change. So I invested in a goalkeeper from Germany because it's going to give a stronger link. If you have this goalkeeper and let's say a German defender from Dortmund, for example, Tule is there this year actually, you'll get a strong link. It's going to be good for chemistry. Then for Leverkusen, Gosono. How did I say that name? I don't know how to say that name. Anyway, it's like the cheapest one. I know it's from Ivory Coast. It's going to be hard to link, but if you want to invest, it's the cheapest one. There's not that many good players on the Bundesliga, to be honest. When low rated, at least, it's going to be hard to link, to be honest. The requirements for this one, I'm going to say, if it comes out, it's going to be definitely one from either team. Okay. Then we'll go to the third match. Roma versus Internazionale Milano, or as usually people call it, Inter. Why this game? First of all, when it comes to classification, Roma is in 6th place and Inter is in 7th place. 1 point difference. Okay, so if Inter wins, they will go over Roma and they will be in European positions. I know it's too early in the season to talk about European positions, but it's a statistic, I guess, it's a fact. And also there's two other aspects that make this game very interesting. You know the relationship between Mourinho and Roma, so it's more like a love match between them because he loves Roma and he loves Inter. And the other fact would be Roma has Dybala, and Dybala left Juve, and rumors were saying that he was going to Inter, and then Inter decided to go another way, I think to buy Lukaku. So Dybala might be a bit scorned if that is true. Who to invest? Kumbula from Albania, again, center back, but the nation really doesn't help. But if you have a Serie A team all around it, I think it's going to be quite good. Then you have Gagliardini, weird names. This one actually is quite a bit expensive, about 500 coins. They're expensive, to be honest. What are the requirements for this one? I would say they will ask one from each team. So one from Roma and one from Inter. That's my opinion. Then the last game and the biggest match of this weekend, and this has to be in. If this isn't in, EA are criminals. Manchester City versus Manchester United. There are 5-point difference between them. City is in 2nd place with 17 points, and United is in 5th place with 12 points. But it's the Manchester Derby. Come on, it's like the biggest one. Like there's Liverpool versus United, there's Tottenham versus Chelsea, and there has to be a Manchester City versus a Manchester United. Sorry, this one has to be in. What can we invest in? Yes, that is a bronze player. That is a bronze player because the cheapest gold is 950 coins. Okay, the cheapest gold. And the cheapest card for City is actually this bronze card, which is 500. I'm not expecting. Okay, I'll explain after. After I finish this, I'll explain why am I doing this now. And then United, you can also invest in Lindelof, which is about 550. It's not the best nation, but well, it is what it is. Everything else is quite expensive. Requirements. I truly believe that EA is gonna ask two, either from Manchester City or from United. So this one is expensive investment, but I really think it's going to pay up a little bit. I really think it's going to pay up. And God, I'm already going on 10 minutes. Anyway, I'll have to talk. But let me finish this. Always try to invest in players 300, so you can always make a profit. If you can't do 300, go 350, 400, and try to sell it for double it. Let's say if you get 400 coins, you go for 800 coins, and you move up that way, and you double your investment. Why am I doing this on the, let's say, Sunday night? There are two reasons why. First of all, no one's still thinking on marquee matchups, so we well, you have a say in Portuguese, but it won't make sense in English. But we get ahead, let's say like this. We get ahead of everyone in the market. And second, last year on Mondays, EA always released the 75 plus, 80 plus SPC, where you need normal cards or well, common cards and gold cards, rare gold cards to get a player pick. Yeah, that's the word. And when you do that player pick, all the cards in the market rise. Like, it's gonna be absurd for you to invest. So, oh yeah, I know the saying, you get ahead of the curve. That's what I wanted to say. You get ahead of the curve so that you can make investments and make some money. Even if you don't want to wait until Thursday, and if Monday the player pick SPC comes out, it's gonna rise a lot and you can make money. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be the video for today. I hope it helps you. Good investment. Please leave a like, a comment, hit the bell icon. All those good things make us grow. There should be a sub button up here. That should be my latest video, and over there it's my Platinator channel where I do completionist stuff. So if you could follow at least this one, we'll become friends, and you'll follow me on the other at another time. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow with Team of the Week prediction. Yeah, God, I did this video almost perfect without stumbling. Bye.